A specter is haunting the global economy, an ever-growing mountain of numbers that could redefine our future. This isn't the plot of a disaster movie. It's the reality of sovereign debt, the money governments borrow to function. Today, that debt has swelled to an astronomical $97 trillion, a figure so vast it's hard to comprehend. As this digital tide of red ink washes over a map of our world, one question echoes in the halls of power and on the streets of anxious cities. Which country will be the first to buckle under the weight? The front line of this crisis is already visible in nations teetering on the brink of collapse. Take Sudan, a country where the debt-to-GDP ratio has soared past 200%. Here, the numbers translate into a stark reality of economic desolation, a daily struggle for survival where the promises of tomorrow have been mortgaged away. The story repeats itself elsewhere. In Lebanon, the financial system has crumbled, leaving citizens locked out of their own savings. In Sri Lanka, a default triggered widespread shortages and social upheaval, a harrowing example of how quickly sovereign debt can spiral into a full-blown humanitarian crisis. For these nations, the debt crisis isn't an abstract economic theory, it's a crippling present. Yet the world of debt is full of paradoxes. Some of the most indebted nations appear remarkably stable. Japan, for instance, holds a staggering debt load far exceeding its economic output. But look closer, and you see a different picture. A vast majority of this debt is held internally by its own citizens and institutions like the Bank of Japan. This creates a closed loop, insulating the country from the whims of international creditors and allowing its high-tech, orderly society to thrive. Similarly, a financial hub like Singapore carries significant debt, but it's strategically used for investment and is backed by a fortress of substantial national assets, turning what looks like a liability into a tool for growth. These examples show that the size of the debt isn't the only thing that matters. Who owns it and how it's managed is just as crucial. However, the warning lights are now flashing in the heart of the developed world. Within the G7, the club of the world's wealthiest economies, deep-seated anxieties are growing. In France and the United Kingdom, borrowing costs are creeping up, a sign that markets are getting nervous. We see images of worried politicians grappling with tightening budgets and the threat of credit downgrades. Then there is the United States, the world's largest economy, sitting atop a precarious tower of debt that now exceeds $34 trillion. While the power of the US dollar has long provided a safety net, persistent deficits and political standoffs are fueling serious concerns about the long-term sustainability of its financial leadership. This brings us to the final unsettling image, a line of dominoes, each representing a country, all intricately connected. The global economy is a tightly woven web, and a default in one major nation could trigger a chain reaction, a cascading failure that spares no one. The question is no longer if a domino will fall, but which one and when. From the fragile states on the edge to the indebted giants of the West, the pressure is building. The world holds its breath, watching and waiting to see which economy will be the first to tip and what the consequences will be for us all.